Let's be honest, when you think of Maine, you probably picture a rugged coastline, maybe some lobster boats, right? Well, today we're heading inland. We're going to explore one of its greatest and most numerous natural treasures, its incredible lakes. We're going on a journey from the overwhelmingly vast to the specifically accessible. So let's dive in and see where this takes us.
You know, Henry David Thoreau had such a poetic way of seeing the world. To him, a lake wasn't just a body of water, it was the earth's eye, a mirror for our own souls. It's a beautiful thought, and it really sets the perfect tone for what we're about to discover. But poetry, well, it only tells part of the story. The other part of the story is this number, 5,785. That's not a typo. That's the actual number of lakes and ponds in Maine that are larger than a single acre. It's just a staggering figure that turns Thoreau's poetry into an absolute epic.
Okay, so to really wrap our heads around what this means, we've got to look at the numbers. Because, honestly, understanding the sheer scale of this resource is the first step to truly appreciating it.
Get this. If you could somehow scoop up all 5,785 of those lakes and ponds and put them all together, their total area would be over 1,700 square miles. To put that into perspective for you, that is larger than the entire state of Rhode Island. It's a massive aquatic playground, just woven into the landscape. Just wow.
And here's a little bit of cool history for you. Way back in Maine's colonial days, any body of water over 10 acres was officially called a great pond. Now, this wasn't just a name. It was a legal thing that often guaranteed public access. And the incredible part? Nearly half of all those thousands of lakes in Maine are big enough to earn this historic title.
And among those great ponds are some absolute giants. I mean, Moosehead Lake is the undisputed king, a massive inland sea of nearly 75,000 acres. But then you've got Sebago Lake, which isn't just huge, it's incredibly deep, 316 feet. These are legendary bodies of water that really define the state's character.
Okay, so the scale is immense, right? Almost intimidating. So how do you go from a number like 5,785 to actually getting your boat in the water? The answer is to zoom in, way in. We're going from the entire state down to just one town, Lincoln, Maine.
And this is exactly why we picked Lincoln. It's a perfect little microcosm of Maine's water wealth. Within the borders of this one town, you have 13 different lakes, nearly 70 miles of shoreline, and even 19 miles of river frontage. It's just an incredible density of opportunity.
So now we can get even more specific. Let's forget the thousands of lakes for just a moment and explore the variety you can find right here, inside the town of Lincoln. This is where all those possibilities start to feel real.
And this is what makes it so special. In the very same town, you can find two completely different worlds. On one hand, you have Coldstream Pond, a massive, deep lake over 3,600 acres. On the other hand, you've got Stump Pond, small, shallow, and intimate at just over 200 acres. These two offer completely different boating and fishing experiences, and they're practically neighbors.
All right, so let's get really practical. Let's say you want to go boating this weekend. You don't need to choose from almost 6,000 lakes. Nope, you just need to pick one. And for us, we're going to pick Mattinacook Pond, right in Lincoln.
So here's the lowdown. It's a really nice size at 830 acres with over 11 miles of shoreline to explore. It's not overwhelmingly deep either, which makes it a great accessible spot for all kinds of activities. It's kind of the perfect middle ground.
And here it is. This is the crucial point. 31 Lake Street, that's the address. You plug it into your GPS, you hook up your boat, and you go. This is how the vastness of Maine becomes a simple, actionable plan, one boat launch at a time.
But Lincoln offers something more, something that really speaks to the community spirit around these lakes. It's not just about access for everyone. It's about creating special opportunities, especially for the next generation of anglers.
Check this out. The Edwards Family Kids Fishing Pond is a dedicated spot just for young anglers. It has special rules designed to make it a great experience for them, like line limits and seasonal catch and release for trout. This isn't just a boat launch, it's a community investing in its own future. How cool is that? So, we've got on quite a journey here. We started with thousands of possibilities, a number so big it's hard to even comprehend. And we've ended up at a single address on Lake Street and a special fishing pond just for kids. And that's really the key takeaway here. The thousands of lakes aren't an intimidating barrier, they're an open invitation. The vastness of Maine is made real and accessible to every single person. One boat launch, one pond, one fishing trip at a time.
So we'll end by circling all the way back to Thoreau. If Maine has nearly 6,000 of these Earth's eyes looking back at us, each with its own story and its own depth, the only question left to answer is, which one will you explore first?